Welcome to The Explainer. Let's just jump right in today, because we are taking a fascinating journey into the very foundation of who you are online. Think about it for a second. Every single time you log in somewhere, share a document, or just verify your age, you're relying on broken, centralized systems that leave your personal data completely exposed. But we're actually on the verge of a massive paradigm shift. Today, we're going to explore how we're transitioning away from these fragile systems and moving toward a secure, totally user-controlled digital future. It is time to reclaim your digital footprint, and I am absolutely thrilled to walk you through exactly how this works.
To really grasp how we take back control of our digital selves, we're going to follow a pretty logical roadmap today. We'll start with the current identity crisis, then explore self-sovereign identity, dive into DIDs and verifiable credentials, unpack zero-knowledge proofs, and finally, look at how we actually build long-lasting digital trust.
Part 1. The Identity Crisis, when centralization fails. Listen to this warning from IBM's 2025 Cost of a Data Breach report. They're making it clear that strong data security fundamentals like encryption and access control are absolutely essential right now. Why? Because the way we do things today is fundamentally broken. Putting millions of identities into centralized databases doesn't create a secure vault. It basically creates a massive, irresistible honeypot for hackers. We're literally putting all of our digital eggs into one very fragile basket.
And this brilliantly illustrates the problem. We all expect our identity systems to just work, right? But contrast that expectation with literal 404 error pages from the Indian government's MeitY and Aadhaar UIDAI sites. When a central authority server goes down, whether it's routine maintenance or a targeted cyber attack, your ability to prove who you are just vanishes. Poof. Page not found. That right there is the terrifying reality of a single point of failure.
Which brings us to Part 2. Enter self-sovereign identity. You in control.
Imagine this for a second. What if you were your own sovereign nation? In the physical world, your birth certificate or your diploma is tucked away securely in a drawer at home, right? You hold it. But online, someone else holds all that data. I want you to imagine a digital existence that is completely independent of any external organization. No one can suddenly revoke your access or go offline and lock you out.
This isn't just a pipe dream. It's a real framework called Self-Sovereign Identity, or SSI. Drawn from the Sovereign Foundation, this is a digital movement demanding that you, the individual, should own and control your identity without any administrative middlemen getting in the way. The absolute crucial point here is that SSI takes the exact same freedoms and personal autonomy we take for granted in the physical world and finally brings them to the internet in a mathematically trustworthy way.
Part 3. DIDs and verifiable credentials, the technical heart. To make this all work, the Standardized Web Consortium, the W3C, relies on this really simple, elegant triangle. This three-party ecosystem is what powers the new architecture of trust. You've got the issuer, who makes a claim and creates the credential. Then there's the holder, that's you, storing it securely. And finally, the verifier, who receives and cryptographically checks those claims. Notice what's missing. There's no central middleman tracking the exchange.
Okay, let's dive into this with a practical example. First step. A university acts as the issuer and grants a verifiable credential, let's say your digital degree. Second, you, the student and holder, keep that digital degree safe in your own local wallet. Third, you apply for a job, and the employer, the verifier, uses cryptography to mathematically verify that the degree is authentic, and they do it without ever needing to ping the university servers. The whole flow is seamless, instant, and completely peer-to-peer.
Now, why does this actually matter for you? Well, traditional IDs come with some massive privacy risks that verifiable credentials inherently solve. Because that verifier isn't checking back with a central server, we completely eliminate unwanted cross-site correlation. We severely limit device tracking and fingerprinting. And honestly, the biggest win? We completely dissolve those centralized honeypots that hackers love to target.
To really anchor this digital concept, just think about your physical wallet. Holding a digital verifiable credential locally on your device is exactly like sliding a plastic driver's license into a leather wallet. Your data lives with you. It travels with you. It is absolutely not sitting on some corporate server somewhere tracking your every single move.
Moving on to Part 4. Zero-knowledge proofs. Proving without revealing.
Enter zero-knowledge proofs, or ZKPs. These are advanced cryptographic algorithms that let you prove a statement is true without revealing the actual underlying data that makes it true. They operate on 3 core mathematical principles: completeness, soundness, and zero knowledge. Basically, it gives the verifier absolute mathematical certainty,
without you having to sacrifice even an ounce of unnecessary private information. It's totally brilliant.
If that sounds a bit abstract, let's ground it in reality. The Kingdom of Bhutan is actively using this technology right now for their national digital ID system, which is built on Ethereum. If a citizen needs to prove they're old enough to access a service, they use a zero-knowledge proof to mathematically guarantee they're over 18. And they do this without ever revealing their actual birth date, their address, or their ID number. The verifier only learns one single fact. Yes, this person is over 18.
Now, what's really interesting here is the contrast in how these disclosure methods give you control. We've got selective disclosure, which is like choosing to share your age but keeping your name to yourself. But then we take it to the next level with unlinkable disclosure. This uses cryptography to make sure that even if you show the exact same credential to 5 different websites, those sites cannot collude to track you. It gives you incredible fine-grained anti-correlation control over your digital life.
Part 5. Building digital trust, the infrastructure.
So what actually powers all of this? The answer lies in distributed ledger technology. We're talking about incredibly robust foundational networks. You've got Ethereum and its Layer 2 Validium scaling all those zero-knowledge operations. You've got the Polygon Open Money Stack integrating stable settlement. And then there's ION, which is a decentralized protocol running directly on top of Bitcoin. These networks provide the public, tamper-evident infrastructure we need to anchor these identifiers globally. No central point of failure.
We've seen just how fragile our current systems are, and we've explored the incredible cryptographic tools waiting in the wings. The architecture for a secure, private, completely user-controlled internet is already being built as we speak. So, the only question left for you is, will you take back control of your digital self? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning the status quo, stay curious, and I'll catch you next time.